Hi, this is Sive Morten with the daily update on EuroFX. I post my exclusive market overviews with the key political and economical events, charts and important levels on the ForexPeaceArmy.com forums weekly. This short video is a response to rapidly changing situation on the currency markets and should help you to stay on top of the game and be profitable. I suggest you to visit ForexPeaceArmy.com forum and read my analysis for the week before watching this daily video.
Welcome back everybody. So let's take a look again on euro currency. Finally on euro currency we have some action. So you can see market starting upward performance. It's prepared by the pattern on the dollar index that we have discussed. But here exist few tricky moments for trading an overall environment that we have here. If you remember on the daily chart we talked about the potential bread body sell because we haven't got the double repo. And we said, well, let's consider maybe the bread body trade will be possible around this level, just because we have not bad thrust down, no close above the 3x3, so it's suitable for a short double directional patterns. Here's a few minor things exists. Well, first of all, we do not have the pure double bread body because by the chart Napoli idea, the bread body should start within the 3 sessions when the market stands above the 3x3. So now we have already the fourth session in a row and market still hasn't quite reached the 1670. So maybe today it will be reached, but in general it's a bit longer than usual, although the overall background remains mostly the same, as in fact the bread body is nothing else but just momentum trade, as it's called by the investors in general. So usually when you see some strong thrusting action, selling on the first pullback usually gives you a great chance to succeed, just because rest of the momentum will press market a bit lower. It's just kind of the well, it's just how markets works. So it's need to fade the momentum that exists previously, inertia. So that's also is typical for the market. And currently we're coming to the level where theoretically this trade could be started. So first level 1670, 30%. Additional advantage here is that we have the tail every bot around this level, slightly powered, so that provides additional protection, let's call it in this way, or better to say resistance. And take a look, it's also previous lows. That makes this trade, well, more or less acceptable to consider. So we could think about it or taking the position. At the same time, the major tricky moment here is that, well guys, we have on the dollar index the double repo. Double repo suggests fast action. So take a look that this action hasn't started yet. So market shows tight consolidation of the flag at the completion of the double repo signal bar. It's right here. And this is very good sign for potential double repo. And you can see that 3x3 envelops this type of action. This is very good for any double repo pattern. So it means that, well, if it works properly, here we should get the strong downward action here, which means that on euro currency we should get strong upward continuation once the dollar index starts to move. And from that standpoint, it put it in a tricky moment, the bread body, because we suggest the taking the short position. It's just to show some pullback here. If so, you understand the risk of this. In the case if the dollar index starts to move stronger, that could mute the bread body trade or doesn't let it to reach the suggested target. Maybe retracement here will be just smaller. So some consequences could happen here. So this is additional risk that stands around current situation. At the same time, the euro currency right now takes just slightly more than the half of the dollar index. And well, in the best scenario, it could happen that as a bread body here will be completed, as the double repo starts to work on the dollar index, just because they are currently not totally correlated. So it's big relation between the dollar index and euro currency, but euro currency is just a half of the dollar index, and some deviations could happen. Let's hope that they will be sufficient to let market complete the bread body as well. or maybe a double repo will start a bit later. Well, the euro will be in time to complete the retracement, and then we'll start to get to the next target. But one thing that we could say here, based on the double repo on the dollar index, is that with this trade that we are considering, we are watching only for a minor pullback, because longer action, strong action here currently contradicts to the pattern that has been formed on the dollar index. So it means that if you consider taking the short position based on the bread and butter, do not marry the short position. Take the profit as soon as possible and move stops to the break even as soon as possible, because some surprises might appear if it will be not as good as we just discussed. If double repo triggers faster, earlier, then it could make negative impact on the performance of the bread and butter trade here. So just control the situation, keep an eye on both charts, and make the decision accordingly. So this is the specific on the current situation, current trading setup in the market. Keep it aside, everything stands very, very good for technically for a bread and butter trade. So take a look. This market is coming to resistance. We have near standing overbought, which is great. We have near standing natural resistance area around 1670. On the follow time frame chart, it's clearly have ABCD type of action that potentially provides us regardless cheaper to sell, right? So ABCD shape very typical for retracement. Here's the slope of neckline has been changed by the market activity. So as yesterday we haven't got direct upward breakout, and market shows a bit deeper retracement instead of that. If you remember, we discussed this possible breakout of the flag to the upside. But instead of this, market shows minor drop. It means that market has formed a shoulder. And in fact, we have not triangle, but flag pattern. I will show you on the hourly chart. And then starts upward action. So here, as you can see, that's our target of the hand and shoulders, which is agrees with the 1670. So additionally, we have the agreement at this level, which is also very good for any bread and butter trade. Finally, if you'll take a look at the hourly chart, you will see that here we have the confluence, not just a single 1671, but we have also 1664 is a fib level from this important level where actually downside for us has started. So this is important reaction and level, and it agrees with the major daily level that creates the confidence resistance. So we have in one place agreement, confidence resistance, natural resistance, and daily overbought. So this is enough background to consider taking the short position that should lead at least for first touch for some minor bounce that should let us to move stops to the break even, and then we will see if bread and butter works well. Well, that's great. We'll get results somewhere around 618 pullback. This will be somewhere as opposed to 1580, 1590 area, so somewhere at these levels will be target of this trade. If market will show just minor bounce and turn up, well, in this case we at least will be out on the break even, and it means that the double repo on the dollar index starts to work, and it just gives not enough time to the bread and butter on euro currency to be completed. So this thing also could happen. Well, hopefully this video is useful to you, and well, lets you to deal with these trading setups accurately, watching some nuances that we have just talked about.